we don't know what time zone we're in, right? So, Kevin, finally, we get you on here, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Pallet Trader, based in New Jersey. We got a lot of people from New Jersey so far here. But tell us a little bit about Pallet Trader and what it is you guys do.
Yeah. So we'll start 30,000 foot view, because Pallet Trader can be a lot of things to a lot of people. So Pallet Trader is a tech-enabled pallet solutions provider, right? Kind of the left-hand side of the spectrum. There's an online self-service e-commerce marketplace.
Right.
Fortunately, we're first to market with that, to build a comprehensive marketplace.
Yes.
And then there's a spectrum of services that spans kind of the right-handed side of the spectrum, if you will. It's fully managed, outsourced solutions, complex, data analytics, things of that nature, and then all things in between.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I first saw that you guys came out with Pallet Trader, I'm like, oh man, like this has been missing, like from the industry, right? Because I mean, tell us from your opinion and Pallet Trader's perspective. I mean, how important is the pallet in our industry?
Well, I came from transportation and logistics. 10 plus years, and it's been funny because having spent that much time there, you hear about pallets, but you never focus on them, right? And then I've come to this side.
It's like they're just always there, right?
Yeah, they're like the underbelly and like the linchpin to all of supply chain, right? And no one thinks about pallets until costs skyrocket or a line goes down.
Yeah.
And so it's been really cool and unique to learn like the importance of a pallet, in the space. And so, for us, tying to one of your lead-ins was, we didn't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Like we basically took some of the best like features and processes and solutions across a variety of different verticals, from TMSs, order management systems, eBay, private communities, and like LinkedIn, different procurement tools, load boards. We just mashed it all together for the pallet category.
Yeah.
And so it's not like we're selling this huge AI-driven, scary machine.
Yeah.
It's technology that you're familiar with,
Yeah.
that most of your buyers and category managers are using for raw materials, transportation, all of those other things. And so it's been fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it makes a lot of sense too, because it gives you more perspective on like where could you get pallets, because I mean, you talked about, you don't think about pallets until, the cost skyrockets, right? And certainly I experienced that during the pandemic for sure, right? When there was timber shortage and then price of pallets just went way up, paying crazy money for one pallet. I mean, it's insane. So, I mean, having this platform and being able to, source from different places, or even as a shipper too, you get extra pallets left over, like, what do you do with them? Well, you can make money off them, right? You can sell them, right? You can just post them up there.
No, you'd be amazed. Maybe you wouldn't, but the Fortune 500 customers who are paying people for like pallet removal.
Yeah.
They're spending a few $1 million a year in like pallet removal, when in turn you can sell those pallets for a few million. So there's just a huge swing, and that's just the tier ones, right? The same thing's happening in the SMB space, and that's one of the beauties of Pallet Trader is, we've very similar to what's happening in the transportation world, but we've used our platform to aggregate the seller community, which, some people say there's 1,500, some say 2,000 suppliers that are out there, and that's manufacturers, recyclers, et cetera. So we've aggregated this community, but we're also aggregating hundreds, soon to be thousands of buyers, and obviously they can transact, independently, on the platform, or from the managed service, we can do it for them. But yeah, the solutions that come out of it, the visibility, the market intelligence, that once you start digging deep, or once there's visibility to the category, it's amazing the solutions that are available.
Yeah. I mean, it's really crazy. I mean, that nobody had thought of this sooner. I mean, we're happy somebody did. I mean, it makes so much sense. But I mean, you guys have foundation and background in the industry for a long time, right, through Betterway. So tell us a little bit about kind of how this idea came out of that and has now come to life.
Yeah. So I'll speak a little bit to that. It's funny because like one of the main comments that everyone always says is that's either a fantastic idea or why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And so, which is one of the reasons that brought me here. But yeah, so the history and the foundation is rich. So Betterway, Pallet Trader was built by Betterway. And Betterway's They've been in the supply chain industry for 60 years. Started in
Right.
like manufacturing, bottling, distribution, and then like the portfolio of services evolved into asset transportation, pallet management. So they've had a pallet management company for 40 years. And so the beauty of that has been they've been building these deep, long relationships. I mean, we've got some suppliers. Granted, it's two separate companies, legally not related.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot of the same connections, especially in the supplier-based side. And so some of these suppliers have been familiar with the Betaway, family and company of services for 30 years.
Right.
And so, for us, it's great because while we're a startup in some regard, we're also backed by the company that's been doing it for 40 or 60 years, depending on how you look at it. And so the foundation has been great. The knowledge and solutions that we can tap into from like a complex like network redesign, analytics, and just it's been fascinating. And quite frankly, it's we've got a great advantage that not a lot of startups do, having such a breadth of knowledge sitting in the next building.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I think it's really interesting, and certainly. I mean, it's about a year now.
We launched really at the end of October, but it was basically November.
Okay, all right. And so how has it been over the last year? I mean, you guys have certainly been everywhere, I would say. Any show you go to, like Pallet Trader, you see like on LinkedIn, I see the trailer all over the place. I think you guys did a little tour or two, or like I see Igor posting on Pallet Trader motorcycle tour, all this different stuff, right? So tell us a little bit about kind of how the year has gone and how users have come to the platform and their experiences. Yeah,
the year has been, the three words I use with most has been fun, fast, and fluid. We've learned a lot. We've went to a lot of shows. We'll hit probably 25 or so this year. Yeah. Each of them unique in their own way. They've been good. We've had a ton of customer feedback. We've been fortunate to transact and process, millions of pallets. And so with that, you get good feedback. And thankfully, there's been no like quantum leap changes or anything that anybody has wanted. Just more enhancements, tweaks, change, put this field before this field. So, we've gotten good feedback from customers, from, new salespeople coming in. But it's been great. But year one is mass like brand awareness and launch campaigns and finding out like what works and honestly what the customers want. And so the customers have given us really good feedback. And we had a really big release a couple of months ago about Pallet Trader Plus, which is like the fully managed and managed light side of the Pallet Trader family, where customers are saying, hey, we love Pallet Trader and all the values that come with it, but we don't want to do it. We want you to do it for us.
Yeah, you do the work.
So that's where Pallet Trader Plus was born. And that's been good. And while that was like on our roadmap, that came from a lot of feedback fast from customers that said we've got a couple different parties. Like we have one that wants to go leverage the self-service online e-com style marketplace, and then we've got another subset of customers that want to leverage the breadth and depth of Pallet Trader, but they want us to do it for them. And that was perfect.
Very interesting, and I think that's such a good idea too, because like it is time consuming to try and figure out how you're going to sell your pallets and get rid of them. And I went through a similar thing in previous job, and my boss would always say like, oh, there's money in those pallets, and I'm trying to call people, and like you said, like some people are like, oh well, we'll charge you like $300 to come pick up the pallets, and he's like, I'm not paying somebody. We got to figure out somebody that wants to buy them from us. And so the fact that you now offer that service where you can match up all these different connections that you have through the platform and be able to create revenue essentially for that would not be there. So I think it's a really, really great thing. So now tell us about how people can get on the platform. How can they start to use Pallet Trader? How can they get rid of the pallets they're holding on to? Yeah, so I mean, honestly, pallettrader.com is the best place that we typically point to people. There's a really nice how it works section on there. There's plenty of click here to contact us, and that goes directly to us, directly to one of our sales team members, and then we'll typically set up an introductory call. Plenty of YouTube videos and things like that out there, but we always recommend. There's some demos on, short clips on the site, but give us a call. We'll set up a personalized demo. We'll invite you to one of our Wednesday kind of open roundtable workshops where you can come in and
and view the technology and get some pointed Q&A.
Yeah.
So you can certainly do that. But pallettrader.com is usually the best way to start.
All right, great. So, Kevin, thank you so much for coming by and telling us all about pallettrader.com. Such a great idea. I should have thought of it myself, right? One of those things. So, really appreciate you coming by, and great to finally get you on here and talk about this.
Glad we finally got it to work out.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Appreciate it. See you soon.